to Grace Hall, everyone. My name is Melena Sheldon, and with me today is Jackson Cramp. Today, Lehigh Sports Broadcasting Club will be covering the girls volleyball Lehigh Lafayette game. Starting lineups are being called now for Lafayette.
Big game here today for the Mountain Hawks as they look to get up to 5-8 for their Patriot League record. They're currently, 5-9. They're currently 4-9, 12-12 on the season as a whole. They're coming off 3 games in which they first lost 1-3 to Colgate and another 1-3 loss to American, but most recently had a 3-0 win over Loyola Maryland as they announced the Mountain Hawks lineup now. Today, the Mountain Hawks are coached by Alexa Keckler, who is in her 6th year as head coach of Lehigh. So far, she's led the Mountain Hawks to the Patriot League tournament and 7 players earning all Patriot League honors. Lafayette, on the other hand, is coached by first-year head coach Christian Kaselik.
Both teams huddled up now. Lafayette seems to be starting with possession. They will be serving first.
Big crowd out here tonight at Grace Hall, one of the largest of the season. Looking forward to a great game of volleyball here today between 2 great rivals.
Vital for Lafayette is serving first. Vital serves it over the net. Lehigh responds with a bump. Set. And they missed the tap over. The ball floated. Lafayette takes the first point. The first set. Lack of communication there by Lehigh. Seemed like they would tap it over, but 2 people went for it. Lafayette hits it over. Lehigh bumps, set, spikes it down. Lafayette responds with a bump, set, spikes it down. Lehigh tries to block. Lafayette gets a second point. Lafayette serves it over the net. Lehigh responds with a bump, sets it to the left, spikes it down. They get their point. First point for Lehigh. Score is now 2-1 Lafayette. Now serving for Lehigh. It's Burov.
Great kill there by Lehigh that round.
Mountain serve, makes it over the net. Lafayette with a bump that goes out of bounds, giving Lehigh their second point. The game is now tied.
Yeah, Lehigh just needed to settle in after those first 2 points. Now they're in their groove.
Serving for Lehigh again. Goes over the net. Lafayette with a bump. And another bump that goes out of bounds. That is 2 in a row that the serves got their 3rd point. That is 2 aces. Kaburov for Lehigh, taking the lead. Lehigh serves it over again. Lafayette with 2 bumps. Tries to tap it over. Lehigh's not there in time. Lafayette was able to find that space. The score is tied up again. 3 all round. Lafayette now has possession of the ball.
Yeah, that was a great move by Lafayette there. Just really caught Lehigh off guard with basically an extra set rather than a kill right there.
Lafayette serves it over the net. Lehigh responds with a bump. Set to keep it in. And then the spike goes out of bounds. Lafayette keeps possession and gets the point. Continuing to serve now for Lafayette is Patman. Patman serves it over, makes it. Lehigh with the bump. Bump again. Has to hit it over now. They bump it down. Lafayette now sets it up, takes their 3 touches, spikes it. Lehigh blocks it, taps it over again, and Lehigh gets the point. It is now 4th, all up. Lehigh now gets possession. Serving is now McCartney.
Great play by Madison McCartney there, now serving.
Makes it over the net for the serve for Lehigh. Lafayette tries to keep it in bounds. They serve it over. Lehigh with the bump. Try to set it up for that spike. They do it. Lafayette keeps it in the air with the block and a tap up. Now Lafayette tries to hit it over. Lehigh taps it, keeps it on their side. It's a fight for who gets the side. And the ball drops on the side of Lafayette. Lehigh gets the point and the lead.
Some nice fighting at the net that time by Lehigh just to keep it alive and then to get the point.
Lehigh serves it over, makes it over the net. Lafayette takes 2 hits. Their 3rd makes it over with a diving save there by Lehigh to keep it in the air. Lehigh serves it over. Lafayette barely keeps it up. Lehigh blocks it, goes down, giving them the point. It is now 6-4 Lehigh. Lafayette was unable to block that one. It went straight down, hitting their side.
Yeah, that was Stewart and Washington there combining for that block. Great job.
Lehigh serves it over again. Lafayette takes bump, set, tries to tap it over. Lehigh blocks and gets the point. That is 3 in a row for Lehigh. 4, actually, I believe.
That time it was Megan Schulte who leads the team with 318 kills at the block.
Lehigh serves it over the net. It goes out of bounds. Lafayette takes the point. Serving errors are tough to lose points on. Now serving Lorenzen for Lafayette. The serve makes it over. Lehigh sets it up with a bump, set, spikes it down. Beautiful play. Textbook for Lehigh, getting the point and possession right back.
Yeah, that was the junior Emily Stewart with a great kill. She leads the team with blocks, 109 this season.
Lehigh serves it over. Lafayette responds with a bump, set, and a spike down that makes it, and giving them possession right back and the point. Score is now 8-6 Lehigh. The serve before was Schulte for Lehigh. And now possession is back to Lafayette. Serving now is Penman for Lafayette. Hits it over in the net. Goes out of bounds. And Lafayette with a serving error, giving Lehigh possession and the point. Washington serves for Lehigh, makes it over. Lafayette does 3 touches to hit it back. Lehigh responds with their 3 touches, spikes it down. Lehigh taps it back over when Lafayette tries to, but it goes, it tips off of Lafayette, and Lehigh did receive the point. Score is now 10-6 Lehigh. Washington serving again. makes it over the net. Lafayette hits the ceiling with the bump and gives Lehigh another point.
This is what you want from Lehigh, a little bit more consistency, especially when they have the serve. You want to minimize the serving errors and control the tempo of this game at home.
Absolutely. Washington serves it over, makes it over the net. Lafayette responds with a bump, set, spike down. Lehigh gets it right back with a bump, set, and a tap over, but they block it. Lehigh gets the possession right back, tries to spike it back over, gives Lafayette a chance to set it up with a bump, set, spike it down. It goes out of bounds. Lehigh keeps possession and gets a point. Good rally back and forth there.
Yeah, you see the Lafayette players protesting for a tip, but ref was having none of it.
Lehigh serves it over, makes it. Lafayette hits it out of bounds, giving Lehigh yet another point. Seems that a sub is being made for Lafayette. In now is number 17, which is Flynn. Washington for Lehigh serves, makes it over. Lafayette sets it up with a bump, set, spikes down, it goes. It is called out of bounds. Lehigh gets the point. Seems a timeout has been called by Lafayette. Probably trying to break the streak for Lehigh as when it is now 14-6 lead.
Yeah, Lehigh's gone on a bit of a tear here, led by the serving of Lila Washington, the senior. She's done a great job of not only not getting any errors on her serve, but putting Lafayette in a really bad position from the get-go. You know, not letting them get set, not letting them really be able to put their plan into action, putting them on their back heels, and then it's been Stewart and Smith for Lehigh, the pair of juniors up front, really doing good work, as well as Megan Schulte, another junior. Those three, Smith, who leads the team with 649 assists, Stewart, who leads the team with blocks, and Schulte, who leads the team with kills, are really the leaders of this Mountain Hawks team. And what they'll look for at the end of this season, as well as next year, is continuing dominance from their big three.
10 seconds left here in the timeout. Lafayette and Lehigh seem to be taking back the court. And Washington will continue her serving streak. And we're back. Lehigh serves, makes it over. Lafayette with a bump. Another bump in the same spot. Spikes it down, but Lehigh's able to respond with their own bump. A set backwards, tries to hit it over. The spike was a little hard to set up. Lafayette responds with their few touches. Lehigh keeps it alive, but hits it back over. A chance for Lafayette to respond. Lehigh taps it out of bounds, giving Lafayette the point and now possession. That timeout seemed to help get Lafayette back in the game.
Yeah, but you'll take that if you're Lehigh. You lose that off of a deflection, but that was a really good rally for the Mountain Hawks as well, even though they didn't score the point.
Fesco serves it over for Lafayette. Lehigh responds with their three touches, tries to bounce it over. It hits off of a Lafayette player, giving Lehigh the point and possession right back.
Great response there by Lehigh to come right back at him.
Serving now is Brown for Lehigh. Brown makes it over the net with her serve. Lafayette does quick spike down. Lehigh unable to respond to that. Possession goes back. Score is now 15-8, Lehigh still. Now Weston for Lafayette is serving. Hits it over the net. Double call there for Lehigh, but they got it up. Bump set, spikes it down, hit the net, but Lafayette keeps it alive. They have one more touch, they make it. Lehigh tries to set it up, they hit it over. Lafayette keeps it alive with the dive. They try to spike it over. Lehigh tries to tip it back over, but it goes out of bounds, and Lafayette gets the point and keeps possession.
That timeout definitely helped Lafayette. Lehigh's got to regroup.
Absolutely. Lafayette serves it over the net. Lehigh responds with a bump. sets it up, tries to spike it down. Lafayette responds by bumping it back over. Lehigh tries to tap it back. Lehigh now sets it up, spike it down. Lafayette hits it out of bounds and giving Lehigh the point and possession right back.
Again, exactly the response you wanted by Lehigh. Nice controlled possession right there.
Lehigh serves, makes it over. Lafayette hits it out of bounds, giving Lehigh an ace. Serving right there was Smith.
Yeah, she threaded that needle perfectly right on the right-hand side. Caused Lafayette to be in no man's land.
Smith serves for Lehigh, makes it over the net. Lafayette keeps it alive with a bump. Set, spikes it down. Lehigh Smith dives to get that ball with the bump. Lehigh spikes it down. It hit off of a Lafayette player, going out of bounds, and Lehigh got the point. It was now a 9-point lead for Lehigh.
That was Megan Schulte. What a great spike.
Smith serves, makes it over. Lafayette with a bump. Set, spike down, blocked by Lehigh. Hit Lafayette, goes out of bounds. Lehigh gets another point. It's now a 10-point lead for Lehigh, 19-9. Another timeout has been called by Lafayette. Seeing some really good things out there.
Yeah, you know what's really impressed me with Lehigh so far is their play at the net. Right, they've done a great job with their blocks. I mentioned Stewart already, but there they had their bench unit in there, and even then they were doing a terrific job of not letting Lafayette get any easy points. You know, basically saying that, you know, Lafayette, you're going to have to beat us. You know, we're not going to make mistakes. And that's exactly what you want in a game like this, where there's so much at stake, both in terms of pride of this great rivalry, but also in terms of the actual standings, where Lehigh's trying to draw level with Lafayette. And so Lehigh's come out there with real urgency, real intent to start this matchup on the right foot. And with a 10-point lead, you can't get complacent, but you really want to finish this one out and move on to the next one.
Absolutely, yeah, you worded that so well. You know, this is your first time covering for the volleyball game. I've done this now, I think, 4 times, and you see clearly how blocking has been a big asset to Lehigh's volleyball, and like in terms of their winnings and their points. All right, Smith up to serve again for Lehigh. Hits it over the net. Lafayette responds with a bump. Set, spikes it down. Lehigh blocks, but seemed to have hit the net, giving Lafayette the point and possession. That was a close one there. Hard to tell, but the ref did see it as Lafayette's point.
Yeah, you don't really mind that one if you're Lehigh. You come back stronger after the next one. You had the right effort.
Vitale up to serve again. We finished the full rotation. Serves it over the net for Lafayette. Lehigh bumps it, spikes it down, blocked by Lafayette, giving them the point and continuing with the ball. Serving now, Lafayette. It hits the net, but goes down, giving them an ace. That net can be confusing. You know, it looks like it's not going to go over, but it did. Lehigh wasn't ready. Serving again, Lafayette. Lehigh responds with a bump. Set, spikes it down. Lafayette is able to keep it alive with 2 bumps. Spike down. Lehigh keeps it in the air. It goes over the net. Lafayette takes their 3 touches, tries to tap it over. Lehigh was there, though. Lehigh sets it up, bump set, spike down. Lafayette now takes their tap over, but it's barely kept up. Hits the floor on Lehigh's side. Lafayette gets another point.
Those are some great digs by Lehigh, you know, led by their libero, Emily Stewart, but unlucky that time.
Lafayette hits it over. Lehigh taps it back, spikes it down right there by Schulte. Lehigh gets the point and possession.
You know, that's what she's out there, is for those kills, and right there she killed that one emphatically. The digs that time were by Kylie Brown, excuse me. She's the libero out there tonight.
Schulte, as the outside hitter, was right there in time. Spike it down. Lehigh serves it over. Lafayette with a set to start. taps it back over. Schulte once again spikes it down, hits off a Lafayette player, goes out. Lehigh gets the point.
Yeah, what do you know? It's Schulte again, and she's been targeting that back left area where Lafayette's been a little bit vulnerable so far.
Burov serves it over for Lehigh. Lafayette tries to tap it back over. Don't get there in time. Lehigh gets the point. Lehigh is now 3 points away from winning this set. Serve makes it over the net for Lehigh. Lafayette takes 2 bumps, tries to tap it down, but Lehigh was there. Bump, set, spikes it down, it hits Lafayette. They keep it alive, hit it over the net again. Lehigh now taking a chance to set up a play. They tap it, tries to spike it over. It was tapped back by Lafayette. Lafayette gets the point.
No, I think the ref ruled that one out of bounds, so that point went to Lehigh. Good game awareness by Washington to let that one out.
Thank you, yes, that's my mistake. Lehigh once again got the point at a touch of going out of bounds. That's 2 in a row now, but now Lehigh is at their game point. Lehigh serves it over. Lafayette bump, set, spikes it down, blocked by Lehigh. It is called Lafayette's point though. Sub being made for Lehigh. Fingal coming in. Lafayette also makes a sub. Lafayette now has possession. Flynn serving. Makes it over the net. Lehigh with a bump. Set, spiked down by Washington. It goes out of bounds, giving Lafayette another point. But Lehigh is still at their match point.
From here, it looked like that might have deflected off Lafayette, but the ref had a great view of it. Definitely disagree with that one.
Seems a timeout has been called by Lehigh. You know, even with 1 point to win the set, pressure's still on. Points come very quickly. Smallest errors could account for a comeback.
No, yeah, I think this is a smart timeout here by Lehigh to basically say, hey, look, you know, we started off really hot. Let's calm down a little bit. Let's get this point. Let's set up play. We'll get this point, and then we'll move on to the next set. And again, it's very tactical, right? Because you want your team to be energetic and happy and driving out there on the court, but you don't want them to be over exuberant, making mistakes. And worst of all, you don't want them to get their heads in their hands. And so I think this is a very smart timeout to have Lehigh collect themselves. You can see that they're still pretty relaxed. It's not too serious.
I agree.
You know, just get that final point. During this timeout, we'll talk about the remaining games. Lehigh has a game at Bucknell on the 5th, and then their final game will be at Navy on the 9th of November. For Lafayette, they actually also traveled to Bucknell a day before Lehigh on the 4th of November, before they finish out their season away at Colgate on the 11th of November. So both teams with 2 games remaining as they look to finish the push into the Patriot League Tournament Championship.
No timer on this timeout.
I'm not sure if it is. You know, I see one of the refs over at the scoring table. I think they might be going over something.
That might be it. Yes, it does look as if a play is being under review at the moment instead of a timeout. Talking it over at the table. It was a challenge on that last hit out of bounds for the last point.
Yeah, it looked like it might have taken a nick off a Lafayette player, and there seemed to be a little bit of delay in the ref's call. So I imagine she's She just
It
checked
looks
you
like a
over.
decision has been made. This could determine the set. Point goes to Lehigh, and that gives them the first win for the set. That was a major decision there.
Yeah, and I think it was the right one, as Lehigh will now look to move on to the second set and continue with this momentum.
Both teams switching sides now. T-shirts are being thrown out. I haven't seen that yet here. Seems to be an exciting crowd. You know, this is a Lee Loft game, of course, the big rivalry between both schools. The band is here today, playing in between.
Yeah, you know, great part of the sport, and then of college athletics in general is this rivalry. Known for its football, but if you ask anyone on campus, they're going to tell you it's a thing for all sports. And if you ask those athletes out there competing tonight, you know, this game means something special for them. For some of the seniors out there tonight for Lehigh, this is their last home game, so they're just going to try to soak this one all in, especially with the rivalry element. I've talked about the standings a couple times, but for a quick update, the Patriot League tournament coming up, both these teams have 2 games left. Lehigh's currently 8th at the standings with a 4-9 Patriot League record, while Lafayette's sitting in 6th at a 5-8 record. Lafayette won the previous matchup between these teams 3-1. And so Lehigh right now is trying to even the season series, and that would negate Lafayette's main tiebreaker. And if Lehigh can win this matchup 3-0, they'd actually get the second tiebreaker as well, which is head-to-head set record. But to throw a wrench in the plans is Loyola Maryland, who also has a 4-9 record, same as Lehigh, who Lehigh just beat 3-0. So Lehigh holds the tiebreaker over Loyola. So now we'll see, as we get to these final 3 games for both these teams, how those tiebreakers play out ahead of the tournament, where 6 teams get in. So right now Lafayette's in and Lehigh's not. So obviously a lot riding on this game.
About 30 seconds left here before the second set will begin. Lehigh should be starting with possession, as Lafayette started last time.
And you got Lehigh's heavy hitters back out there with Schulte and Stewart, as well as Washington, all out there. And no Brown right now, though. No Kylie Brown. Is she going to make her way on the court? She kind of looks a little tentative right now, but those are your main players for Lehigh.
All right, both teams setting up. Both teams seem to have a big connection between each other. The hype up. You know, you got to be a team in order to play this well. The connection makes a difference. All right, serving now for Lehigh. Smith makes it over the net. Lafayette responds with bump, set, spikes it down. Lehigh blocks it, but it is called out of bounds, giving Lafayette the point and possession. Lafayette did get the first point for the first set. Now they got it for the second. Lafayette serves it over. Lehigh responds with a bump. Set, taps it down. Lafayette tries to keep it in the air. It goes out of bounds, giving Lehigh the point and possession right back. Tied up, 1-1.
Yeah, really nice hit that put Lafayette in no man's land. There's nowhere to go for them.
Kaburov now serving for Lehigh, makes it over. Lafayette with a bump, another bump up, tries to spike it down, blocked by Lehigh, but Lafayette responds with another bump, tap, sets it down, spike, giving Lafayette possession and a point.
not going down without a fight. Lehigh's got to step it up in the second set.
That was Gibson with the spike down to give them the point in possession. Lafayette now serves it over the net. Washington with the bump. Set back. Spike it down for Lehigh. Hits a player for Lafayette, goes out of bounds. And Lehigh gets the point, tying the match.
Yeah, Lehigh completely threw off Lafayette right there. It's basically like a reverse set. Went to the weak side for Schulte, who then in turn hit it back to the strong side with her kill. Again, completely caught Lafayette off guard for the point.
Quick substitute by Lafayette. McCartney now serving for Lehigh, makes it over the net. Lafayette, 2 bumps, tries to keep it alive, hits the net. That is an ace for Lehigh. Now they take the lead of the set, 3-2. McCartney serves it over for Lehigh. Lafayette responds, bump set, spikes it down. McCartney was unable to respond. She tried to dive for that, but it went out of bounds. When it tapped off, giving Lafayette the point, and now possession. Score is now tied up again, 3-all.
Yeah, they just found the weak spot in Lehigh's zone right there. And McCartney wasn't able to step up in time to dig that one and save it.
Lafayette serves it over. Lehigh with a bump. Second bump back. Tries to spike it down. Lafayette tips it out of bounds. Lehigh gets the point and possession right back.
Yeah, that time it was Lila Washington again with a great spike. Just hit it hard enough that Lafayette could do nothing with it.
Serving now is Schulte for Lehigh. Hits it over the net. Lafayette hits a bump, set, spikes, blocked by Lehigh, but Lafayette keeps it alive with their own set. Lehigh barely keeps it up, hits the net. Lafayette gets the point. Now a tied game again, 4-all.
Yeah, it was Stewart and Smith trying to get the block, but it was just hit a little bit over them, and Schulte couldn't get there.
Fesco serves for Lehigh. For Lafayette. Lehigh's able to hit it back over. Lafayette now hitting it back. Lehigh with the set, another set, tries to tap it over. They make it after some back and forth action. Lehigh was the one to take the point. Lafayette tried to dive to save it. Unsuccessful.
Yeah, found it pretty much right in the dead center of Lafayette's zone.
Washington now serving for Lehigh. Hits it over the net. Lafayette with a bump, another bump, tries to set it down the middle. Lehigh is able to keep it alive, bumps it down. That ball was spiked down by Fingal, giving Lehigh their 6th point of the second set, and Washington to continue to serve. Lehigh serves it over. Lafayette responds with 2 bumps, tries to set it up for a spike. Lehigh taps it right back to Lafayette. Lafayette sets it up. They try to tap it, 2 taps, keep it alive, back and forth. Lehigh taps it back again. Lafayette trying to set it up. Lehigh taps it back over. Lafayette tries to keep the ball in the air, and the point goes to Lehigh. They were unsuccessful. Lots of interesting rallying there, just lots of taps back and forth.
Yeah, that time it was Smith and Stewart. Just a couple successive blocks to give Lehigh that point.
Timeout has been called by Lafayette, probably trying to break the streak again. They have been successful. The other 2 times they called timeout, the possession did switch to Lafayette.
Yeah, we were talking about a Fingal with her kill a couple points ago. She's a first-year, really promising though for Lehigh. She was named Patriot League Rookie of the Week this past week after posting 27 digs, 20 kills, and 6 blocks over 2 matches.
Wow.
So again, really promising prospect for the Mountain Hawks, and she showed it in about 2 points ago, where she just found the absolute perfect spot to kill it, and Lafayette had nothing to do with it. And like I was saying that last time, it was the dynamic duo of Stewart and Smith, just basically saying to Lafayette, you're going to at least have to do something to beat us, because all they were doing was tapping it right to them, and they were just blocking it really easily over, and basically Lafayette made the first mistake.
10 seconds left here in the timeout. Both teams seem to be taking the court again. we're back. Washington serves it over for Lehigh. Lafayette with the bump, set, taps it back over. Lehigh tries to set it up now, takes their 3 touches. Lafayette keeps it in the air, has one more touch to make it over. They spike it down, but Lehigh is able to keep it up on their half. Has one more hit, they spike it down. Lafayette dives and saves it up, takes their 3 touches, bumps it over. Lehigh now has a chance. They try to tap it back, but Lafayette was there to block it and gave them the point. Lafayette now has possession. Lehigh still keeps the lead with a 7-5.
Yeah, Lehigh kept on going off the ceiling initially, which is quite impressive.
Lafayette serves it over. It goes out of bounds, giving Lehigh possession right back.
Yeah, great net awareness by Lehigh to just let that one pass by. No, work smarter, not harder, and that was exactly what they did that time.
It's very important to be vocal in volleyball, all of them calling out so nobody goes for it accidentally. Lehigh serves it over. Lafayette was able to bounce it back. Now Lehigh's trying to get it back on their side. The spike down for Lehigh. That was Fingal once again.
Yeah, the first year, again, with showing some nice discipline and experience, actually, finding the weak spot in the zone.
Brown serves for Lehigh, makes it over. Lafayette keeps it in the air, but it hits the net, giving Lehigh the point. It is now a 5-point lead for Lehigh.
That ball had some weird spin on it for Lafayette. It looked like it was a pretty much good hit until it wasn't.
Brown serves it over, goes out of bounds. Lafayette gets the point. Serving for Lafayette is Fesco. Lafayette serve, makes it over the net. Lehigh bumps it up, sets, tries to tap it over, and it hits Lafayette going out of bounds, giving Lehigh the point.
Yeah, we were just talking about net awareness and communication. I think that ball might have been drifting out of bounds, but miscommunication by Lafayette saw him tip it even farther.
Smith now serving for Lehigh. Serve makes it over the net. Lafayette responds to the bump, set, spikes it down. Lehigh tries to block it, tries to keep it in the air, unsuccessful. Point Lafayette.
You love the effort out of Lehigh, though. You saw Fingal race across the court when the ball was surely going out of bounds, but you love the effort.
Lafayette serve makes it over the net with a tip. Lehigh takes her 3 touches, tries to spike it down. Lafayette keeps it in the air. And Schulte being there to block. Lafayette not being able to try to hit the ball over, giving Lehigh the point.
Yeah, really calm and composed out of Schulte. Usually she's known for her huge spikes, but that time it was just, a nice little tap. And again, easy point for Lehigh.
Burov serving for Lehigh, makes it over. Lafayette tries to keep it in bounds, spikes it down. Lehigh unable to respond to that. Lafayette gets the point.
Yeah, pretty much a perfect spike that time. Not much you can do with there if you're Lehigh.
Right into the corner. Lafayette serve makes it over. It goes out of bounds. Lehigh gets another point. Serving now for Lehigh is McCartney. McCartney serve makes it over the net. Lafayette responds with 2 bumps. Spike over. Lehigh takes their 3 touches, tries to tap it over. 2 dives by Lafayette, both missed. Lehigh gets the point.
Hope the photographer was ready for that double dive by Lafayette, and of course neither of them get it.
Fell right in between. McCartney again serves. Lafayette, the bump, sets it backwards, tries to spike it down. Lehigh did block, but it did not fall on the other side. It went straight down, giving Lafayette the point.
Yeah, you just gotta kind of deal with that one if you're Lehigh. Just kind of hit the wrong part of your hand, then not much you can do. You're in the right place at the right time. Just didn't work out.
Lafayette serve makes it over, but it goes out of bounds. That is the second service error for Lafayette in this set. Giving Lehigh back the point and possession, and serving now is Schulte for Lehigh.
Yeah, we said earlier that Lehigh's not letting them beat themselves. That's what Lafayette's doing now.
Schulte's serve makes it over. Lafayette takes their 3 touches, and it goes out of bounds. Lehigh did get the point on that one. Lafayette seemed to argue that it was touched, but the point was given to Lehigh. Schulte serving once again. Lafayette responds with a bump. Second bump, spikes it down, goes out of bounds. It was touched by Lehigh, though. The point was given to Lafayette. Substitutes being made now for Lafayette. 6-point lead for Lehigh. Lafayette serve makes it over. Lehigh takes 3 touches, tries to spike it down. Lafayette responds with their own 2 touches, spikes it over. That goes out of bounds. Lehigh gets the point and possession back.
Yeah, Lafayette just snatching at a lot of these spikes right now, and that's why it's going so far over. You know, when you're in a deficit like this, you're going to put a little more extra zip on those spikes, but you can see what happens when you put too much extra zip. It just sail out of bounds.
Washington getting ready to serve for Lehigh. Makes it over the net. Lafayette with a bad touch on that bump. Hits right on their side, giving Lehigh a point. That is an ace for Washington. Score is now 18-10 Lehigh. Washington serve makes it over the net. Lafayette bumps it back over. Lehigh taps it down, giving them their 19th point of the second set. That was Thompson. A great tap down. She was there right in time before Lafayette was even ready to hit it.
No, it's Stewart, actually.
Was it?
I think so.
Oh. Mistake. All right, Lafayette got the point on that set. Lafayette keeping it alive, bit of a rally going on here. Lehigh with the diving save to keep it up. Lehigh spikes it down and gives themselves the point and possession back. Beautiful play there. A lot of back and forth action. And yes, you were right, that last one was Stewart, my mistake. See now, number 16.
And this time it was Fingal, the first year, again with a great hit.
Brown serves for Lehigh. Lafayette takes their 3 touches, spikes it down. Lehigh was not there to respond. Score is now 20-12. Lafayette with possession.
You know, you were here last set with Lehigh again, where, you know, they were close to the win. They just got to close it out now.
Lafayette serves it over. Lehigh communicating to keep it alive. They try to tap it over, but Lehigh was able to keep it up. A second spike done by Lehigh goes out of bounds. Lafayette gets a point and keeps possession. Lafayette serve makes it over. Lehigh tries to dive, but goes out of bounds. Lafayette continuing with their streak of 3 points now in a row.
A little unlucky there for Lehigh.
Lafayette serves it over. Lehigh takes 3 touches to bring it back. 4 touches by Lafayette, giving Lehigh an automatic point.
Yeah, another error out there by Lafayette. They've had a couple first time to four hits, but you can't be doing that against, you know, any college level competition.
Smith now serving for Lehigh. Makes it over. Lafayette responds with a bump. Set, spikes. Lehigh keeps it up with 2 sets. They try to spike it down. Lafayette keeps it in the air. Lafayette tries to serve it back over. They make it. Lehigh with the diving save to keep it alive. Take their 3 touches. Tries to tap it over. Lafayette responds back. Lehigh tries to block it. Lehigh keeps it in the air with a diving save. Bring it back to Lafayette so they can take their 3 touches. Tap it back over. Lehigh keeps it in the air. We have a big rally going on here. Lehigh tries to spike it down. Lafayette taps it. Hits it back over. Lehigh keeps it alive. Tap it back over. Try to spike it. Lafayette gets the point in the end. Seems like they were going to block it there. Lehigh was unable to hit the ball, and it falls right onto their court side.
Might have been the best rally of the matchup so far. It was Smith mostly for Lehigh doing a lot of the legwork, but great job by both sides, and Lehigh was just a little unfortunate at the end there.
Unbelievable rally there. Lafayette did get the point. They serve it. It hits the net. It's another service error for Lafayette. Lehigh gets that point right back.
Yeah, not going to be a great film session for Lafayette as of now with all their serving errors as well as the 4-hit error.
Burov serves it for Lehigh, makes it over. Lafayette tries to keep it in the air. They're able to do it. Goes out of bounds with that spike, though, and Lehigh gets another point. It is now 2 points away from winning the second set, and that would be 2 out of the 3 they need to win the whole match. Lehigh serves it over, hits the net, but makes it. Lafayette takes a few touches. Lehigh keeps it in the air. Lehigh taps it over. Lafayette communicates to bump, set, spike it down. Lehigh taps it back over the net for Lafayette. Lafayette takes another 3 touches. They tap it back over for Lehigh. Bounces off of Lafayette. Hits their side of the court. Lehigh gets the point.
Nice patient set out there by Lehigh. Not going for anything they don't need to go for and letting the game come from them, and it paid off that time.
Lehigh serves. Hits the net. That is, I think, the first service error for Lehigh this set. Lafayette's getting possession now. Lehigh is at their match point, though. 24-16 Lehigh. Lafayette serves, makes it over. Lehigh bump, another bump, sets it down. It perfectly placed, not even touched by Lehigh, and that was the final point to win the set. Lehigh is just a game away from winning the entire match against Lafayette. Final score here, 25-16 for the second set.
Yeah, and again, from Lehigh there, we saw some nice patience, waiting for the hit to basically present itself to them. You know, they're not trying to manufacture anything that isn't there. And you can do that when Lehigh so far has been pretty consistent with their kills. You know, we've mentioned Schulte as well as Fingal, the 2 probably best killers right now for Lehigh. But on the defensive side, you've seen Smith and Stewart and Washington. Each of them have had some nice blocks. Washington herself has gotten involved in the kills. And then, of course, the libero, Kylie Brown, who's had some great digs, as you'd expect for the dig leader of the team.
In other news with Lafayette, on the 18th, they will be here for the big football game. Sports Broadcasting Club will be covering that, so check that out. And in terms of other football news, they will be playing Holy Cross on the 4th. It's tomorrow.
Tonight, the Mountain Hawks for volleyball are hosting their youth night, which will include an autograph signing session with the players after the match. So a nice gesture by Lehigh Volleyball, getting engaged with the local community and building a pipeline of prospects, hopefully, for this volleyball team. That right now it's led by some juniors, but we highlighted a couple first years. So we'll see if Lehigh can keep this up for a couple of years or so.
3 minutes here between the sets. Teams have switched sides again. Lafayette will be starting with possession. Though Lafayette got the first point of each set, Lehigh ended up with the win both times.
Yeah, and now if you're Lehigh, you really want to lock in and see if you can end this in 3 sets, because you don't want Lafayette to really have any momentum. You know, they say in all sports the worst lead to hold is a 2-0 lead, and that's what Lehigh has like right now. So you want to kill this now and not let Lafayette gain any momentum.
Also starting is winter sports. We have our first women's basketball game on the 6th against East Stroud. That will also be covered by Sports Broadcasting Club. Make sure to check that out. Also on the 6th is men's basketball game against Cornell. Winter sports. Look out, lots of basketball, wrestling.
Yeah, of course, Lehigh wrestling. Big deal here. Looking forward to a good season for winter. Wrestling definitely included, but you know, the men's and women's basketball teams definitely have some potential. The men's team has got a couple nice first years coming in, and we'll see if they can build on last year and find some more success out there on the court, which is what Lehigh Volleyball is doing right now. They found their success in the first 2 sets, and we'll see if they can keep it up with the third. Hopefully they can and finish this game out.
A little bit less than a minute here until our 3rd set. Both teams seem to be coming back on the court. You know, Lehigh's got to keep their heads in the games. I'm sure having a very cushiony 2 wins for those sets can help. But they got to make sure not to let it get to their heads. Got to stay in the game, play like it's 0-0.
Yeah, and I think that's less of a problem when you're playing your rival, because you want to beat them all the way down. And so right now Lehigh has a chance to make a statement, beating a team that's ahead of them in their standings, and of course they're the archest rivals. So that's all in their heads right now.
Yes, a sweep would be a statement. You know, the pressure's on for Lafayette. They know they have to win this, or else they lose it all. 3rd set, getting ready to begin right now.
Last-minute coaching adjustments for Lehigh, just making sure everything's perfect before this starts.
Serving first for Lafayette is Vitali. Lafayette serves it over, and we're beginning. Lehigh takes their 3 touches, tries to tap it over. Lafayette responds back, takes their own 3 touches, taps it over. Lehigh blocks it. Lafayette takes too many touches, giving Lehigh their first point of the 3rd set. This is the first time Lehigh is leading in the set. Lehigh serves, makes it over. Lafayette takes their 3 touches to spike it down. Lehigh was able to keep it alive. Now they spike it. Lafayette barely keeps it up and makes it over the net. Lehigh takes their touches, tries to spike it down. Lafayette tries to block it, but they keep it alive. Have another chance to make it over. Lehigh keeps it up. A bit of a rally going on here. Lehigh spikes it down. Lafayette keeps it in the air with the bump. Set, spikes it down. Lehigh blocks it, but keeps it on their side. Lehigh has another chance. They hit it out of bounds. Lafayette gets the point, and the game is now tied.
Just kind of hooked that one just a little bit too far. Just curved away from the outside corner.
Lafayette serve, makes it over the net. Lehigh bumps, sets, spikes it down. Lafayette tries to block it. It goes out of bounds, giving Lehigh the point and the lead again. Serving now is McCartney for Lehigh. Goes out of bounds. That is the first service error of the set. Score is now 2-all. Lafayette possession. Serving is Lorenzen.
Yeah, don't want to make a habit of that if you're Lehigh. Happened a lot to Lafayette last set, though.
Lafayette serve makes it over. Lehigh takes their touches. Lafayette bounces it right back over. Lehigh tries to hit it. It was blocked by Lafayette. Bit of a rally going on again. Lehigh hits it a little too far, goes out of bounds. Lafayette gets the point and possession and the lead.
Yeah, it just kind of sailed on Lehigh that time. Almost the perfect hit, though.
Lafayette serves it, makes it over. Lehigh bumps, another bump, set. Lafayette hits it, tries to keep it in the air, hits the ceiling, goes down. Lafayette unable to respond. Lehigh gets the point, tying the match and taking possession.
Yeah, the Lafayette player was ready for that until it hits off a pipe, and then they had no idea where it was.
Schulte for Lehigh with the second service error hitting the net. Both service errors this set have been by Lehigh. Lafayette now has a 1-point lead. Henman serving for Lafayette. Her serve makes it over. Lehigh responds with a bump. Set in the middle. Lehigh just bumps it over. Lafayette responds with their own bump. And the second bump tries to spike it down. That is in. Lafayette gets the point. It's now 5-3 Lafayette. They continue with possession. Henman serving once again. Serve makes it over. Lehigh responds with a bump. Seems to be going over the net. And it did, but Lehigh made sure that they'd get the point there, and they did.
Yeah, it was a nice preemptive jump out of McKenna Smith, the junior. Just knew exactly what Lafayette was going to do and made sure they couldn't do it.
Lehigh serves was Washington. Lafayette responds with their 3 touches, tries to tap it over. Lehigh was there. Lehigh now taps it over themselves. Lafayette now tries to set up their own play down the sideline, right into the middle, spike down. Lehigh is unable to respond. Point Lafayette.
Yeah, just found the weak point in the zone, right in the back end of Lehigh's half of the court.
Now serving for Lafayette is Flynn. Her serve makes it over. Lehigh responds with a bump. Set backwards, spikes it down, but it was blocked by Lafayette.
Bit of an awkward height, just wasn't high enough for a successful spike.
Lafayette now serving again, and their first service error hits the net. Lehigh gets a point back. Serving now is Brown for Lehigh. Score 7-5 Lafayette. Lehigh serves it over, makes it. Lafayette takes their touches. They try to spike it down. It was called out of bounds, point Lehigh. It is now a 1-point lead for Lafayette. Brown serve makes it over. Lafayette sends it back down the middle for themselves to set it up. Lehigh blocks it, tries to keep it in the air. They do it. They have one more touch to make it over. They do it. Lafayette now setting it up. They spike it down. Lehigh keeps it in the air, hits the ceiling. Lehigh easily bumps it back into controlled possession, sending it back over. Lafayette takes their point. They spike it down. Lehigh is able to keep it in the air, and Lehigh gets the point after a big rally. Lafayette ended up getting the point there. Taking their possession right back.
Disappointing if you're Lehigh. You had a nice dive out of Drew Brown and as well as a great ceiling play.
Lafayette serve makes it over. Lehigh takes their few touches. Lafayette tries to block it. Unsuccessful. Lehigh gets the point. Lafayette a few times had a 2-point lead. This doesn't seem like a lot, but when it's a win by 2 set, it makes a big difference. Lehigh serve makes it over. That was Smith. Lehigh gets the point there. Score is now tied, 8-8.
Yeah,
Lehigh continuing with possession.
looked like a combined effort out of Madison McCartney and Megan Schulte that time to block that one and get the point for Lehigh.
Smith serves for Lehigh, makes it over the net. Lafayette responds with 2 bumps, tries to spike it down. Lehigh keeps it alive, but it goes out of bounds, giving Lafayette the point, the lead, and possession. Timeout subs are being made by Lafayette. Lafayette serve, makes it over. Lehigh responds to the bump, set, spikes it down, beautiful, wasn't even touched by Lafayette. Score tied once again, 9-all. Lehigh is making some subs right before their possession, and serving now for Lehigh is Kaburov.
Yeah, nice job threading the needle that time by Lehigh on that kill.
Lehigh's set, makes it over. Lafayette takes their 3 touches. Lehigh keeps it in the air, not letting that set go down. Except Washington spikes it, goes down, gives them the point. 10-9 Lehigh.
Yeah, Washington's been great tonight, and another great kill by her.
Serving once again, Lehigh makes it over. But that is an ace right there. Lafayette did touch the ball, but it went right down. The dive was unsuccessful. Lehigh got the point, and now 2-point lead.
Yeah, Kaburov, who's serving right now, had a serving error in the last set, and her coach basically said, "You're fine," and that's what you get. Nice ace.
Lehigh serve makes it over. Lafayette tries to keep it in the air. They were unsuccessful. Lehigh gets the point once again. That is the second ace in a row for Lehigh.
Yeah, Katerina Kaburov, the senior, number 17, is in her groove right now.
Another serve for Lehigh, makes it over. Unsuccessful. That is a third ace for Lehigh. Score now 13-9. Lehigh in the lead. Won't be surprised. Yep, timeout has been called by Lafayette. Trying to break the streak now again.
Yeah, basically all you can do if you're Lafayette, especially when it's just off service. There's not much tactics. It's just you got to get the ball over the net. And I think, again, the Lafayette's coach is only in his first year at Lafayette and only his second year as a head coach in D1. And so I think this is a moment where he's got to figure some of the things out on the fly. How do you stop your arch rival when they're just in their groove? You can't get swept. You can't be in this moment right now. We talked about the tiebreakers. If Lehigh wins this 3-0, they'll get the second tiebreaker over Lafayette, which will be important if the series is tied. And so right now, Lafayette's got to put some things together. And if you're Lehigh, you want to stay positive, you want to stay happy, because that's what's been giving them points so far. They've been jovial out there on the court, just having a good time, been really relaxed. And I think if they're able to do that for these next 12 to 20 more points, they're going to come out here with a win.
10 seconds left here in the timeout. Both teams taking the court again. Lehigh will continue with their possession. See if they'll continue their streak. Lehigh serve, makes it over. Lafayette bump, set, spikes it down. Lehigh blocks it, goes back on their side. Lafayette spikes it down, it goes out of bounds. Lehigh continues with possession and keeps their point. Lafayette did have better control in that one. Lehigh just responded quicker and better. Lehigh again serves it over. Lafayette keeps it alive, spikes it down. Lehigh bump up, sets backwards, spikes it down. It was blocked by Lafayette, but goes out of bounds, and Lehigh gets another point.
Yeah, good work, Lehigh. Last 2 points have been really patient and found the right play to make.
Lehigh serve, makes it over the net again. Lafayette with the bump, set, spikes it down, blocked by Lehigh. Lafayette set, taps it over. Lehigh bends down to get that bump, set, spikes it down once again, hits Lafayette. Lafayette's able to keep it alive with 2 bumps, tries to spike it down, blocked by Lehigh. Lafayette keeps it in the air with 2 quick bumps and a tap over the net. Lehigh takes their 3 touches, spikes it down by Schulte. Lafayette was unable to get that. Lehigh gets another point.
Yeah, Megan Schulte was just like, a tiger stalking her prey, just waiting for the right moment. The play was drawn up for her, and she absolutely killed it, metaphorically and physically.
Lehigh serve goes out of bounds. That's a sad way to end a streak, but on a service error. But score still 16-10 Lehigh, 6-point lead, pretty comfortable. Lafayette serve makes it over. Thompson sets. Second set, spikes it down for McCartney. Lehigh giving them possession and a point right back. 17-point lead now. Excuse me, 7-point lead with 17-10. Jeez. Lehigh serve makes it over. Lafayette tries to keep it alive. It was blocked by Lehigh and goes straight down. Giving Lehigh the point. Lehigh unable to respond to that quick block.
Yeah, it was Lila Washington. Again, I've highlighted her a couple times, but again, her and Stewart combined for that one.
Serving now for Lehigh is McCartney. Again, McCartney serve makes it over. Lafayette responds with a bump. Set, spikes it down. It is called out of bounds. Lehigh gets the point. Lafayette seems to think that it was tipped off of Lehigh. The play will be under review.
Yeah, Lafayette had a lot of protesting immediately after that. Lehigh player tipped it, and the coach immediately signaled for a challenge. So we'll see. We had an earlier challenge that it was initially ruled out of bounds off of Lehigh and then reversed to tipped off of Lafayette, which actually won the first set for Lehigh. So we'll see this time whether or not the refs again reverse their ruling in favor of the hitting team, or if they'll stick with their previous decision.
Every point makes a difference, especially when it's win by 2. So calling these type of challenges could make a big difference in how the set ends up.
Well, and it especially matters because if it goes Lehigh's way, they're up 19-10, and you're looking at 6 points, a real big cushion. As opposed, 18-11, it sounds like a similar scoreline, but at this point when you call the challenge, it's mostly mental. And that you want, if you're Lafayette, you need like one thing to go your way, so then another thing can go your way. But Lehigh's just, again, they look happy out in the court, they look relaxed, they're having a good time. And right now, that's what's making a difference. They've been patient, they've been calm, they've been composed, and they've been finding the weak spots in Lafayette's defense, as well as putting an absolute banger of a job on the defensive side. Some great blocks from Washington, from McCartney, from Smith, from Stewart, and then of course Schulte and Fingal being the main 2 killers right now. Absolutely pummeling Lafayette with spikes and kills.
Play is still under review. Decision might have been reached here. Some nodding in agreement. Message being spread to the other side of the table. Looks like an announcement has been made. Point goes to Lehigh. The original call stands.
So just 6 points now for Lehigh. Let's see if they can finish it off.
Lehigh serve makes it over. Lafayette bump, set, tries to tap it over. They find that space where nobody was standing for Lehigh and get the point right back. Lafayette now serving.
Yeah, it looked like McCartney going for the dive just a little bit too late.
Lafayette serves. Lehigh responds with bump, set, taps it over. Lafayette is able to keep it in the air. They have one more hit to make it over. They tap it down. Lehigh did not see that coming, I guess, because there was a space wide open. 2 girls tried to hit it with a dive, unsuccessful. Lafayette gets the point and continues to serve.
Yeah, just nice technique by both sides there. Unlucky for Lehigh.
Lafayette serves again. Lehigh keeps it in the air. Sits, it hits the antenna of the net, giving Lafayette the point, meaning it went out of bounds on Lehigh. Continuing to serve is Lorenzen for Lafayette. Lafayette serve makes it over. Lehigh with a bump, set backwards, spikes it down, and that is a point Lehigh.
Nice way to respond there by Lehigh after a couple of points going Lafayette's way, getting back to what they do best.
Schulte with that spike, and now she's serving for Lehigh, makes it over. Lafayette with a bump, second bump, spikes it down. Lehigh keeps it alive. 2 sets, tap over. Lafayette now sets up their own play. Lehigh with a dive save, taps it over the net. Lafayette hits it out of bounds. Lehigh gets the point. They're now 4 points away from winning the 3rd set and the entire game.
Yeah, some nice IQ out there by McKenna Smith to find the weak spot.
Lehigh serves, makes it over. Lafayette, bump, set, taps it over. Lehigh was there with a bump, set, spikes it down. Lafayette continuing to go back and forth, and Lehigh blocks their spike, sending it down and giving them the point.
Yeah, what do you know? It's Lehigh on the defensive side again, right? It's the blocks. The spikes come easier when you're that good with your blocks.
Lehigh serves again. Lafayette keeps it in the air, taps it back over. Lehigh is able to keep control on their side, taking their 3 touches, tapping it down. Lafayette blocks it, but it goes out of bounds. Lehigh gets the point and are 2 away from winning the entire match.
Just want to finish it off right now if you're Lehigh. Calm and composed.
Lehigh serves, hits the net, but makes it over. Lafayette was able to take their touches. They tap it back and forth on both sides. Lafayette did get the point there. The quick taps were hard to respond to. Lehigh wasn't there in time. Ball hit the ground on their side. Lafayette.
Yeah, but you take the quick taps because it's not necessarily saying you're playing poorly.
Exactly. Lafayette serves it over. Lehigh is able to take 3 touches, tap it back over, but Lafayette is there as well. Lafayette spikes it. Lehigh blocks it, but Lafayette keeps it in the air again, but it goes out of bounds. And Lehigh gets the point. It's now match point 24-14, Lehigh.
Yeah, it's a senior Lila Washington, her last home game, last rivalry match playing out of her mind.
Washington serving. Makes it over for Lehigh. Lafayette takes their 3 touches, spikes it down. Lehigh barely keeps it in the air, makes it over the net. Lafayette takes 2 touches, tries to spike it down. Lehigh blocks. Lafayette takes 3 more touches, tries to tap it over. Lehigh was there for her bump, set backwards, spikes it down. Lafayette keeps it alive, but it goes down. Lehigh wins. That is a sweep against Lafayette. Final score of the 3rd set, 25-14. What a win here today for girls volleyball. It's the first time I'm covering a volleyball game where they win, so my curse is broken.
What a great performance out there by Lehigh. From the get-go, they were on it. They knew what they were about. You could tell it even in warm-ups. Bigger crowd than usual, and Lehigh responded to it. It's a big moment, might be the biggest game of their season, and they come off with 2 successive sweeps against teams that were ahead of them in the standings and the teams they're fighting off for playoff spots. So that's what you love out of this Mountain Hawks teams. We'll highlight Washington, we'll highlight Stewart, we'll highlight Schulte, but it was a team effort out there for Lehigh. Mistakes were made and they just countered them. They kept fighting. I said it from the get-go, Lehigh can't beat themselves, and they didn't. They let Lafayette beat themselves. And so Lehigh comes out here with the win today. Just going to be feeling great about themselves heading into their last 2 games.
All smiles here from Lehigh. The fans are hyped up. The team is huddled up. The coaches, the staff, everybody smiling here. Definitely a great way to start the Lehigh season. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's a Sports Broadcasting Club at Lehigh. My name is Milena Sheldon, and today was Jackson Cramp with me. Thank you for tuning in. Have a nice night.